Welcome to my video about Get-ADGroup. ADGroup, you can use ADGroup for searching groups in different kind of ways with filters and search bases. I'm going to show you all that in this video. First, we're going to make some groups to search them in the Active Directory. So if we want to make a group, I'm going to do it quick and dirty. Add a name, and I call it Get Sales. It's going to be a global group, and therefore I call it Get from global group. The group scope is global. This is a group for collecting all the members of the sales department into one group. It's a group of users, and therefore I use a global group. Let's run it. And now we have a global group. Let's also make a domain local group, and that's use the same command with a different parameter. We call it DL printer headquarters, and the group scope is not local but domain local. I use domain local groups for objects in my Active Directory domain, like printers, like file shares. So if you are a member of this group, you can print on the headquarters printer. So domain local groups I use for objects protection. Let's run it. And now we have two groups, and I would like to find these groups. There's a command to show all the groups, and that's the Get-ADGroup. I use the most simple way of ADGroup, and then I enter a filter. Now you can enter the name, so Get Sales, and I get all the information on the Get Sales group. The same I can do for the DL printer group, printer headquarters. And you see the information on the printer headquarters group. You see it's domain local group. It's a security group by default. This is the name. It has a unique ID, and this is the SAM account name. When I want to show all the domain groups, I can use a filter. The most easy filter is the asterisk, so I use the asterisk to get all the groups in my Active Directory domain, and that's a whole list. So let's use this one, min filter, and I think I did something wrong. I must use the Get-ADGroup. So not new, I must do Get-ADGroup, and I get a whole list of groups. It's not useful this group, because I have to search a long time before I have the information of the group I need. So maybe I can format this table a little bit easier by piping it through the format table commands. So I give all the information, all this whole list, I pipe over this pipe, and then give it to the commandlet format table. This one makes a nice table for me with the name, with the group scope, and with the distinguished name. So I choose this, the name, the group scope, and the distinguished name for a nice table. I get 3 columns, and you see I have a whole nice long table with all the different groups. There are a lot of built-in groups that come default with the Active Directory. You see, you have a built-in group for administrators, users, guests, print operators, back, all that. These are all built-in groups. Now, I don't want to look at all the groups I don't need. I would like to use a filter to get the groups I'm searching for. And the filter you can use, let's use a filter you can use to find a selection of these groups. The filter, let's make some filters to get use of it. Filter is between single or double quotes. I mostly use double quotes, and within these quotes I make this filter. Let's first make the easiest way of a filter called name and then min EQ, and EQ stands for equal. And so we search for where the name is equal to, let's select one, here sales. So, and now I have to use single quotes within the double quotes because sales is a string, it's text, and therefore I need to put it between single quotes. I can't use here double quotes. Now I filter the whole list on the sales, if the group name is sales. That's the easiest way of filtering. And you see I get only where the name is equal to GG sales. There's also another expression you can use, operator, we call this, and it's not equal, NE. So then I get a whole list of all the groups that are not called GG sales, and that's the whole list without GG sales. That's hard to read. Let's format this table on another way. I pipe it through the format wide command, and I only need the names. It spreads over all the information in the white of the screen. And now I get 2 columns with all the groups, and we don't find the group GG sales because it's not equal. We get the rest, only not GG sales. You don't use that often, not equal. Let's set it back to equal, search again, and you see we get only the GG sales group. Let's use another filter, and this one is very useful because we can select text within the groups, group names or other things. So we filter, make a new filter, double quote, and within these quotes I used name, and now we use another operator called like. I want to search for all the groups with the word admin in it. I can use single quotes again and put admin between these single quotes. If I run this one, I don't get any answer because there isn't any group called admin. But there are a lot of groups with admin in the name. You see the DSCP administrators, and you see the enterprise key admins, you see the domain admins. I can use the asterisks to get all, the asterisk stands for all characters on the left side of admin, doesn't matter, and the right side it doesn't matter also. We use an asterisk on the right side. So there where the asterisk is, doesn't matter which kind of characters there are in the name. Let's run this again, and you see we get all the names where admin is in, the DCP admins, the DNS admins. Let's make a nice table format wide, and maybe we have columns, 5 columns, and then we want to see the name. It's spread it wide over the whole screen with 5 columns. That's why the column parameter is added to the format wide commandlet. And you see we get 5 columns with all the admin names, and there are 10 admin accounts within this Active Directory. You can also use the opposite of this like command as the not like command. So if we put in the not like, if not in front of the like, we get a new operator, and it searches where is not the admin word in the name, and now we get all the other groups but not the admin groups. So the like and the not like, I think the like is the best way of searching for the best way of searching within yeah, the easiest way of searching with the asterisks. An example of how I use it very often is in this way. I make a filter and I'm searching for all the GG groups, all the global groups, because I called all the global groups with GG underscore. When I use this one, let's format it again with a table. I like the table. Give it a name, group scope, and a distinguished name. I could copy it in from upstairs. So let's run it. And I made an error. Because my filter is not right. Name dot like, and then I have to use the single quotes. So let's run it again. And now I make a typo in the distinguished name. I hate this word very much. Let's run it again. You see I get the name, the group scope, and the distinguished name. And I have 2 local groups. I could copy it to search for the domain local groups. So it's very useful to name your global groups and your domain local groups with a prefix like GG underscore or DL underscore. And these are my domain local groups. So the like operator is very useful to find anything you want in combination with the asterisks. We can also search for the group scope. Let's do this. Get-ADGroup, and then filter. I make a new filter. And now I'm not going to searching for the group, but I'm going to search for the group scope, and it must be equal to global. So I get a list of all global groups. Let's run this format table. I only get the global groups in my system. You see also the GG sales group was a global group is in this list. Same I can do for domain local groups. I get all the domain local groups. Also I get the built-in groups. It's not often when I search to built-in groups, so it's not useful to show all these built-in groups in my list. and I could use a search base to get rid of the built-in groups. Let's do a new example with a search base. I use a very wide filter with the asterisks, so I select every group, and now I'm going to use the search base, and the search base I use to filter within the distinguished name, so I can use to filter within the built-in CN, so within the domain for each software, that's the root, and within the built-in CN groups I'm going to that's my search base, and I get all the built-in groups. Let's run this again. And now I get a list of all the built-in groups. You see, all these groups are built in, and it's a very nice way to search within the distinguished name. I can find all the groups within an organizational unit, by example. That's very useful. Also could use the not operator to get rid of the something. Yeah, to get rid of something. I have an example, I copy it in. This example uses a not operator. So I could use group scope when not universal. Let's first run this with the group scope, where the group scope are universal groups. I don't often use universal groups to manage, so I don't need them in my daily activities. So I would like to exclude them, so I use the not, and I set some brackets around my equitation. So I now get all the groups, but I don't get the universal groups. I get the domain local groups and the global groups. I hope you learned something about filtering group of using the filter on a commandlet with the get operator. You can use this filter on many commandlets. This is the Get-ADGroups, but there are a lot of different commandlets where you can use the same filter. And thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.